Clint.
Oh, God.
Or most importantly, Clint from the explosive underground band that you have not heard of, Blood Bells.
Okay, let's get this so you can actually be seen. See, the problem is to be able to see this thing, we have to cover up. So we can cover up my face because I don't care what I look
Why are we
like.
covering up your face?
I don't know, but we're live.
Are we really?
Hey, yeah. But that doesn't mean anybody's going to show up. I don't know. Let's go look. Because I only have one monitor and I'm not used to that. Yeah, it says end stream and it says one concurrent viewer. Is that us?
Hello, one viewer.
Hi, viewer. We have an excellent connection for once. Normally it's shit connection, nobody can hear us, and it's like a huge struggle. So maybe somebody will get on and, well, my phone's across the room. I could say live stream now.
Here, I'll grab it.
It should be on the foot part of the, oh God, you already drank your whole drink. Tonight we're having amaretto with fizzy stuff and some lemon.
Yeah, but it's amaretto. It just tastes like I'm drinking fucking syrup from a coffee drink.
That's how you wind up getting really drunk on it, because you had 12 before you realized what happened.
But it's also like you've had 12 candy bars at the same time.
No,
That's why I just like
good.
whiskey and water, because I'm an old man.
Well, I don't drink whiskey, but it's from bad memories. Okay,
Whiskey's from bad memories?
Yeah, I'll talk about it. I'll tell you in a sec.
Oh,
I
don't you love
see
when the
that.
forward-facing camera happens? It happens to all of us.
I was going to put this on Facebook. Because that's funny.
So can you see if there's anyone actually viewing right now?
Yeah.
This?
We can. We've got 2 people watching. And more importantly, because in a live stream, God damn it. We just have the camera up so you're not seeing my desktop. And, you know, I'm a calamity. See, there we go. Pumpkin Ghost says hello.
Hi, Pumpkin Ghost.
Oh, that's funny because I have Pumpkin the dog. Okay. We need this. And we need this. Okay, I'm trying to get the YouTube stream to go away and to resize. Oh, good. Now we can kind of see ourselves.
There we go. Okay.
Impromptu live stream.
You're seeing it first, the exciting world of live streaming. So we're hanging out together, but we are the only people that we have actually seen that we are not social distancing from, because we have actually been quarantining the right way.
Right.
So her and I are both immunocompromised, and we basically live in the same town. Oh, yes, this is where the camera. Hi, camera people. Is this better?
Hi, hey, Shaker.
Okay.
Wow.
So
So he goes from his undiseased house to my undiseased house. I don't go anywhere else, and I have not been within 10 feet of another human being in 4 weeks.
And now look at us. We're 1 foot apart and loving every minute of it. Every minute of it.
Whatever.
Mini is the new word for minute. I'll see you in a mini.
I might be turning this live stream off at any moment.
Oh, you could
Hi,
you could absolutely make a sitcom out of us.
Totally.
Hello, greetings, Mary Schneider.
So we're drinking.
Hey, Shaker.
Oh, let's fix this so it's got more, so we can see all our boobs. Not really. It's just there was too much space above our heads. So we're drinking amaretto, and it's not tonic because God, amaretto's so fucking sweet. You got to cut it.
It's like
club
soda.
It's like club soda.
Yeah.
But it's the kind that you have to use a church key to get the top off. So it's some kind of fucking fancy. I don't know why you'd ever need church key seltzer water.
Hi, Meredith.
and of course, y'all, I put the chat screen like in front of my face.
Well, this is your channel. So I've never,
They can't see the chat screen. That's so we can see it.
That's true. So I'm gonna be like super awkward because I've never actually like done a YouTube live stream.
Clint has no idea.
I have no idea. I've only been like a musician forever. So
Forever?
Forever and ever.
Really? What'd you play in high school? Trumpet?
Actually, I played percussion, but I couldn't read the sheet music, so I just had to play by ear.
Are you dyslexic?
This will show you I'm lexdisic.
Okay, that's fair. Because dyslexic people with music, it's really hard. If you're looking at something and it's vibrating and jumping around the page, you can't read music.
And quite honestly, back, I mean, I've always learned stuff by ear anyway. So
you have. I don't.
But honestly, like, I remember, like, the only thing that really stands out to me is we did the Star Trek Generations theme.
Oh my God, you
when
fucking nerd.
When I was in middle school. That's my age there.
Angela now thinks you're the best person I know.
Yes. Well, Malcolm McDowell's in Star Trek Generations. Don't forget. That's a good one.
Oh, is that a movie?
It's a movie. It's a movie.
I heard Next Generation. And I like the utopia idea, but I can't sit through an episode. And, people tell me that I remind them of Diana Troy. And I hate that character so fucking much I can barely breathe. I like
Wait,
Leslie.
I think it's Deanna Troy.
What did I say?
She's not nerdy enough.
Well, people are like, oh, you're such a nerd. Well, I work in software and I'm fluent in nerd.
And yes, hey Shaker, we are having Goth fun time. There's no really point to this live cast besides the fact that we deeply, deeply love each other and we have a sitcom-like bond that someone will pick up on one day.
And make a show out of it?
I like to be funny. She likes to make fun of me.
Yeah, okay, so, there's that. That's true. But, it's funny. Some of our lighting right now is my black Christmas tree, which I keep up all the time because I love it so much. And you made fun of that. So I'm not the only one making fun.
Khalid says, I make excellent amaretto sours from scratch. Okay, that sounds amazing.
I only drink them from scratch. I will also make a simple syrup with lemon in it where you get some lemon juice in there and then boil with the lemon rinds. And then I use club soda to cut the sugar because when you use a mix for an amaretto sour, not only does it burn your whole mouth up because of citric acid, but it is so fucking sweet. You're going to wake up with a diabetic hangover. You don't even have to. That's why I don't drink margaritas.
It sounds like it could be like an Alien Sex Fiend song. I've got a diabetic hangover.
It's a sugar hangover if you wake up and your feet are fucking swelled out of this world and you're like, ah, and you have that weird headache that's not a full-on hangover headache. We got Top Chat. God damn it.
What's Top Chat?
Because Top Chat just means it shows you what it wants to. Live chat means it shows you in order that it comes in. I don't want to learn more, YouTube. Anyway, so Clint is actually over here doing his quarantine laundry.
That's right.
And even though Texas was opened up the last 2 days, we've had more cases.
We have because we've been opened up, quite honestly.
Yeah, so what are they opening up next week? Something moronic. Swimming pools. Fucking swimming pools. Which, if they're chlorinated, they could have been the first thing because that's less likely. Kids pee in the pool. And they've also discovered COVID in people's semen. So we're now waiting to see if it's sexually transmitted. So not only are we stuck at home, but if we're stuck at home with somebody that we are generally having sex with, we don't get to have sex with them if we think they have COVID. So enjoy your last day of fun. Both the t-shirts? Yeah, this was a... Thank you. Thank you. People ask me if I like Killing Joke, and I'm like... Yes, but this is the band Love Like Blood.
But also Killing Joke is an amazing band. But yes, Love Like Blood is also an amazing band.
I like them both.
But yes, that could be, but that's cool. You got like a 2-for-1 on that shirt. And Khalid, I was going to joke and be like, I got this. This is vintage, but really...
Were you born before that?
I was born in '83, so this probably was happening.
He would have been the baby.
So technically, yes, I would have been like, I would have been the
real titty baby.
I'd have been the child in the labyrinth at the time. But yes, I actually got it off Etsy a few years ago. What I try to actually usually kind of like thrift a lot of stuff, but I was just really, really wanting an...
That's not an original shirt, is it?
No, not at all.
Oh, yeah.
No. It was a reprint. No, of course. Well,
those would be fucked up in $500.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is like so many of the bands that we all like, they don't release merchandise anymore because they're not around.
Right, Susie and the Banshees does. They have a whole website.
They do. I had an amazing Susie shirt that I actually ended up having to sell a couple years ago so we could make money at my place. It was before I got my new job, which I am very grateful for now. But it was I found it on, there is a site called Fat Fingers. They used to have an app, but it's called Fat Fingers. And basically you put in, like, I would just type in Susie the right way. And then it would search for all of the misspellings of Susie on eBay. Right. So it would find all the shit that was misspelled wrong, so you could find some fucking great deals. You can still find a lot of stuff on Fat Fingers, but I think a lot of people have like figured it out.
I never heard of Fat Fingers.
So
I think I missed out.
I've only had Fat Fingers. I've never actually heard of Fat Fingers. So.
When I went looking for T-Rex albums, they were expensive. And some of those old albums, because I've recently started collecting vinyl, so I can be one of those people. But really it was because I played vinyl.
One of those people.
So I played vinyl stuff at a little weird bungalow hotel, 2-bedroom house I stayed at Absolution Fest. And I was like, I forgot how much I love putting a record on, dropping the needle. When you put the needle down, and because in movies or stuff, it always goes, whip! And we know we don't want that. But where you put the needle down, it just goes.
Oh yeah,
And it makes that smell.
I always say that the needle does the needle scratch. If like my wife
Right.
and I have to walk into like family gatherings, you can like hear the needle scratch when we walk in. But no, honestly, no, I've recently in the last year redeveloped my love affair with vinyl and
Right. It's expensive.
well, yeah,
And it
is. I
hasn't
mean, you
gotten
gotta
as
like
rare as it's
bargain
going to
hunt.
get.
But I think actually I've been inspired, as I've told you, been like massively inspired by so many things to kind of get out there and start DJing. And I know there's like a million DJs out there, but honestly, my biggest inspiration has been Andy Harriman lately.
She's good.
She is, well, she's amazing. And she's also a very like nice person from like the little bit
That's
of
true.
chatting I've done with her, but she was
She's
really
really
cool
nice.
and like, you know, she wasn't like pretentious at all or
No.
she wasn't hard to approach when I had questions about a lot of stuff. So I was able to like upload my first DJ live stream because a lot of the stuff that she did
where'd you
to help
put
me
it?
out. I put it on YouTube.
You didn't even tell me.
Yeah, I told you earlier today.
No, you didn't.
But
Did you send me a link to it?
No, I'll send you a
Oh
link.
my God, you have to send me a link. You know how I forget everything. I don't. I remember a lot of stuff, but it's selective.
I'm sure you'll link my YouTube page to not only myself but my band whenever we.
Do I have that? Oh, y'all. I don't know if you realize this because name dropping.
We have
Clint is
we
in
have
a band.
Yes, and my band is so obscure that you haven't even heard of us. So please
of you,
plug.
Well, look, I don't know exactly who all's in here. Some of you. Oh, my shirt says "Love Like Blood," and Clint says "Exmal Deutschland." I just read it. I'm probably way behind. I don't know what's fucking happening. You know, YouTube is late. Anyway, so Clint's in a band called Blood Bells, which is. Do you have a genre? You guys kind of cross genre a little bit.
We are called death rock for the most part.
Well, there's definitely a death rock sound.
There's a lot of like I guess like what you would think when bands always describe themselves. Like it's like there's like a little bit of post punk in there. Since I'm and also probably there's in the new album there's probably going to be a lot more influence of like a lot of the like dark 80s and Italo disco stuff that I love.
There's going to be a more dark wave influence having heard some of that new stuff. Anyway, so if y'all haven't been listening to Blood Bells, says love something blood. Love like blood. Love like blood. Love. Well, I mean, like. We can't see. I can't see it. It's behind the thing. Like.
I like it.
But yeah, we gotta plug your band. But probably more people have heard of your band than you think. But you know, guys, I talk to a lot of people who are DJs.
I don't think we've even said my band name yet.
Blood Bells. I said it like 3 times. Where are you sitting? Are you even in the same fucking room?
I am not on the same fucking planet, man.
Okay, that's true. Notice. Let's talk about your hair. Somebody cut his hair.
Oh my god, I knew she was gonna bring that up. So
wait, what's your pronoun? I'm trying to get in the habit.
No, I'm a he/him.
You're a he.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm a she/her, which
Yes.
you've already assumed. But as a cishet, that's easy.
That's true. So my band is called Blood Bells. You can find us on Spotify and iTunes. We have in Bandcamp. In fact,
you have a cassette, right? Do you still have any?
We have a cassette for sale and some T-shirts on Bandcamp. We do have plenty of cassettes still. We've got one album, A Time for Roses is what it's called.
It's good.
And came out a couple years ago, so we're going to probably be coming back to do like an actual interview. My wife, who is also the other member of Blood Bells. I think so, depending on how well she treats me on this live stream tonight.
Whose booze are you drinking? I'm already treating you well. That's my point.
When all else fails, just like stare at somebody or stare into the distance, and they'll eventually start feeling weird. So, yes.
All right, hey Shaker, so many bands. I was talking with somebody about that today. It's like, oh shit, I want to keep up with all the new stuff. I just can't. I can't. And like I said, I talk to DJs all the time. So they're like, oh, I love this track. And they're all like, oh, that track's great. And I was like, which album? What track number? Because that's how I listen. Because I listen to albums. So I was talking about music today, and I was like, oh, is that track 3? It's track 5. I think the name is this, but it might be this. And I'm like, ugh.
Khalid's asking where you can hear Blood Bells. Khalid, you can do Spotify or iTunes or Bandcamp.
Type it in.
Bandcamp is where you can actually find our merchandise and stuff like that.
There.
So
type
I'll
it
actually.
Type it in while
Can I actually
I
link
pretend to do
stuff?
a sit-up or something. What?
Can I actually link to stuff here? That's pretty cool.
I don't. It may not show up as a link, but they can at least copy it.
But yeah, so essentially though, but like talking about like so many bands, so little brain space, which is what Shaker I think said, right?
Oh yeah.
So interestingly, you can ask anyone that knows me knows that I don't know what it is. I have a very short attention span. I have a very hard time absorbing a lot of information. But for some reason, when it comes to music specifically, and a lot of film too, but like music, I don't know what it is, but it's like it's something that my brain just kind of tends to like soak up quite a bit, and I just have all this like useless, just like endless void of like music knowledge of shit that no one's ever going to ask me, no one's ever going to care about. It's like, but no, but I'm just saying it's one of those things where I think it comes from honestly like not having friends in high school. So growing up in like the suburbs in like the like late 90s when I was in high school, there was like no other goth kids, and I just kind of had to like seek out a lot of this stuff myself. So I was able to like create this world from it, I guess. And so I was just like locking nothing's really changed. I still basically spend a lot of time locked indoors listening to sad dark music.
Oh my god!
So
well, I did that with metal when I was really young.
But like honestly, I don't know what it is. There's something like you can tell me something about anything else and it'll be like in one ear out the other. But with a lot of music stuff, I'll just like go into this weird like hyper-focused headspace. So yeah, and I think that's why I wanted to pick up DJing recently, is because I can like,
yeah,
I 2 hours will go by when I'm doing DJ stuff and I won't even notice it because I'm so like absorbed. But yeah,
but it's fun, y'all. If you're thinking about, because I'm not a playlist person, my playlists are albums. Like I have a playlist for Clan of Zymox. It's 11 albums. I mean, they've been a little insensitive lately.
Is that a playlist or is that more of like a retrospective?
No, it is in order of first to last, but there are 11 albums in that playlist. I used to put all my goth stuff on a playlist until the playlist was like, you have 1,000 songs. I'm like, fuck, guess I can't do that anymore.
And Shaker says, me too, I can only absorb so much at once. Mavis, hello Mavis Greystone. I don't know if we've said hi to you. I just write stuff down in notebooks. Yes, that's all. Mavis, I do the same.
And then Mavis says they can't remember where they put them.
No, I know. I totally hear you. Exactly. And honestly, like,
but the active writing
with
helps
these
a little
little
bit.
Contraptions, you can use the little notes section and just type out shit.
I use notes for other stuff.
Does this happen to you when you go like record shopping or like anything like that?
You'll
forget what, like as soon as you step in, you're so excited and you step in and you're like...
I forget the number one thing I'm looking for all the time until I'm already at least home, not a week later.
This baby, just put that shit down and just anytime you hear something new,
last
just
time
fucking
we went
type
shopping,
it down.
you know what I didn't look for? The Doors. Because I wanted the Doors on LP. But I've realized with some stuff I don't want it vintage because it hurts. Anything from 1990 and earlier is going to hurt my ears. So
why is that? Just like the treble?
The tinnitus, the scratchiness, because I have severe tinnitus, and it just makes my ears hurt because it also vibrates my eczema, because I have eczema and tinnitus. So if y'all ever wonder why I'm always like, what? Because I did an interview today and I said that a lot. That's actually why, is because as soon as there's background noise, my ears can't filter. But sometimes, some stuff like, not that I'd listen to Ministry anyway at this point, but it hurts. It physically hurts to listen to. I can't do it. I've seen them 3 times, though.
Here's a little fun fact about Ministry. I found out not too long ago, and I'm sure this is common knowledge with like, did you know that the Till Tuesday song Voices Carry is about Al Jorgensen?
And he's super proud of Amy Mann.
Because he dated Amy Mann, and he sounds like an asshole when you listen to the song. But apparently he's actually a really sweet person.
No. He'll say he's an asshole.
No, I hear that. I hear from the people that have met him, he's finally kind of getting to that point where he's like okay with acknowledging with sympathy, which is one of the best.
He had to be a grandpa. He had to get to grandpa age before he could fucking do that.
Well, yes, because we get way more.
Well, I mean,
relaxed.
most of us are bigger dicks when we're young than when we're older. Although some people get old, and I'll just say less empathetic. We'll stop at that.
Well, in fact, let's talk about less empathetic. I'm going to tell you about when I met her in person. So we actually
the one time.
This is great. No, it's great.
The one time I've ever acted like that was somebody who called me Skullgirl.
It's fucking great. So we used to have a couple years ago. There was a very short-lived goth night here in Denton. It lasted
for a year.
It was, but that was short-lived.
Some only last for like a couple months. My God. Whatever. We need to do a goth night, but whatever.
May I finish what I was saying,
No.
please? Old married couple. So, I was at this goth night, and I had already had contact with Skullgirdle here. It's weird calling you by that. I already had contact with her because she had kind of like she's really good about like seeking out bands on Bandcamp, some like undiscovered stuff, just because you're a music monster like me. You just want to absorb everything.
Right, I just can't remember every fucking track and every fucking lyric.
Well, yeah. So you found us, and you actually she messaged the Blood Bells page. We had like 8 likes or something, and you were like, "Hey, I really like your album." We had nothing.
I was looking for Texas and goth. It was tough. I looked at every single Texas band.
Now we're up to like 400 likes. So.
I used the word Texas, and I just went and listened to stuff that looked goth. That's how I found you.
Oh, well, I guess we look very goth.
And I found I found 2 Denton bands, and I messaged like 5 or 7 bands. You're the only one that answered me.
Wow. Musicians are tough to talk to sometimes, I guess.
Yeah,
that's an understatement. Anyways, we're going back to non-empathetic, right? So when I first actually saw Skullgirl in person, we were at this goth night. We're both like these old fucking goth assholes. So we ended up showing up way too early. It was like right at doors because we're both like, we gotta fucking work. We gotta be up at like 5 a.m. So I was there, and I was like there with my then fiance, now wife, and one of our friends, and I was like, hey, is that Skullgirdle? And she was like, I think it is. So I went over to the table that you were sitting at, and you were already probably halfway through a nice stiff one.
Might have been a second or third one.
Nice
I don't know.
One. Interpret that as you will. So you were about halfway through, and I came up, and you were there with your best friend, Angela, and I kind of came over. I was like, hi, are you Skullgirdle? And her initial immediate instinct is she goes, who the fuck are you?
I don't remember doing that.
And I just and your friend Angela goes, and she was like, hey, stop that. Like, you got to be nice to people that recognize you.
Yo, Angela does not admonish me. So if she admonished me, I was being a real fucker.
Well, I know, and that's crazy because I've never seen you act like that.
No,
so you must have been having a really bad day. So anyway,
yeah.
so I was like, oh, hey, I'm Clint from Blood Bells. You like messaged our band, and immediately you changed from like, who the fuck are you, to like, oh my God, have a seat, blah blah blah, and it was great. But yeah, so non-empathetic is like
that was a
really good word.
No, that was a lesson for me because I'm now much nicer to subscribers when I see them. I'm not as scared.
Always be nice to subscribers.
Yeah, but I was scared. I didn't think anyone knew who I was or any of that kind of stuff, and so it was terrifying because you're like the second person ever to recognize me.
Oh, wow. And plus you're not used to being called like your YouTube name.
Right.
So that's like, I don't know, that would be weird. Like if I had like a pseudonym or something and someone was like, hey, are you...
Yeah, if you had a pseudonym, Clint Crypt.
Or like, yeah, if someone's like, hey, are you Pumpkin Ghost? And you'd be like, what? That's...
Right, yeah, it would be like that. But no, now when I meet subscribers, I usually ask them their name and then hug them against their will. I don't guess I'll be doing that right now.
Why not?
Because the plague.
But we're already sitting this close to each other.
You're not just a subscriber walking up to me in a public place. Oh,
hi, hugging my friend. Hey, look, God's hug very awkwardly.
Great. Now I got the Rona.
Ooh. I did hear that Zymox played my Corona.
What?
Whenever they played in Dallas for that last night before everybody got on lockdown.
Oh, man. Yeah, they had a few missteps, though. They were talking about the wall and shit and trying to make jokes that a German would think is funny, but an American would not. And from what I heard, they fell over like a lead balloon, and they made jokes similar to that in maybe Mexico, where it fell over like a granite balloon that would weigh more than a lead balloon. So, yeah, when you come to the U.S., people say we're super hypersensitive, but that's because we are in the middle of, I don't want to say a war because I don't want to lessen war, but a lot of racial strife and a lot of polarization and stuff. So, yeah, we can be hypersensitive to some stuff, especially if you're in a goth venue, goth genre thing, and where a lot of us are more, there's not even a proper word for politics. I forget what it was. I think I was schooled on that shit last night. I don't remember. But you know what I mean? If you're not culturally sensitive.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. It's like...
And I know that we have a reputation around the world of being incredibly conservative.
Oh yeah. So yeah, if anybody doesn't, so not only are we in the United States, but we're in Texas. So we are in like the most stereotypical uh, kind of part of the U.S. that you could imagine. I mean, luckily we both live in a very like liberal town because
Yeah,
we're in a
we live
college
in
town. So it's like it's way different. But I
yeah,
mean,
but we
but
still have a shit ton of churches, but we're also in a little city that's green, one of the greenest cities in the U.S., which isn't saying much. We know because we have gas pumps on the edge of town. Is that all the way down? Yeah, did you see that Pumpkin Ghost said that they remember if someone plays a song, most of the time they know the song, the band, and the album, probably the lyrics. It's when people post lyrics on Facebook, I just look them up
I
because
can do
I
that
know I
with
don't know shit.
honestly though. Like I'm with Pumpkin Ghost on this. Like I can do that with certain bands. Like if I've heard it like a billion
Oh
times.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
anything like Sisters of Mercy, The Cure, Susie. Like any of the like kind of the big five. You know,
I
like
can do it with a lot of
Bauhaus, a
Susie
lot of
more
that stuff.
than
Yeah.
I have to go and listen to Sisters of Mercy. I can do it with Floodland, but that's because I've probably listened to that album 135 times.
Yeah.
And I think I'm underestimating with that because I've had that since 1987. So, but I've had to buy it like 4 times.
Ooh, how many people do we have watching now?
I don't know. You have to look.
Let's
Oh,
look.
watch out! I'm clicking on something, and we know
Watch
anything
out!
could happen.
Look out, everybody!
8 people. Woo!
Woo!
Well, you realize that Obscura Undead is playing, so we'll probably put that on after we get sick of
Yes.
talking because we're gonna order dinner. As
No,
soon
we're
as we
both
get
ravenously hungry right now. Yeah.
right, so we're hungry, so we'll probably have a second drink and be kind of drunk by the time
Yes.
dinner gets here, and then not have enough patience to eat because I've done. Have you ever done that?
Yes.
Because I also taught myself to not go on a snack vengeance when I'm drunk. Because of,
Snack vengeance.
because of Weight Watchers and being a fat person, I want to be a little bit less fat person. So I consider booze meal replacer for dinner on many
that's
occasions.
We are both seasoned, socially acceptable alcoholics. I think.
I'm not an alcoholic.
That means you are an alcoholic because you can't say it. So that means that I'm not, by all accounts. And now, at this point, I demand a cheeseburger. Let's get some dinner and another drink, unless you've got anything else you'd like to talk about with them. Do you like my British accent?
No.
I think it's all right. Hey, I told you I actually met that British family when we went to Epcot, and I tested it out.
Crowning fucking glory.
It is.
I met a British family that said my accent was good. Woohoo!
Hey Shaker said we should do a live stream from a graveyard. I would fucking love to do that.
We should. We'll have to have a.
Like honestly, we have an amazing. Check this out, Hey Shaker. We have got a really cool. We've got the Masonic graveyard right down the street.
Oh, the IWF.
Yep. What is it?
Yeah.
The something order.
Yeah,
of
we got
Authors?
chased out of there by cops as a kid. Did
Yeah.
you?
Oh yeah, all the
Because
time.
when I back when I was young, I just thought everybody hung out in graveyards. I didn't realize until the last few years that even in the 80s, everybody didn't do that.
Oh yeah, that's very. Hi SV from Grapevine.
Grapevine.
We're in Denton.
Yeah, we're in debt. Well, they probably know.
Oh yeah, probably.
Well, I always tell people I'm in Denton. I'm like, well, I'm not going to show you the front of my house with my address, but I'm in Denton, and I don't go by Skullgirdle on my address. I should put that on my house. I've always dreamed of having like a pitch black house with flames painted on the side.
Mrs. Skullgirdle Esquire.
And I wanted to buy my own property so I could name the street Beast Lane and be at 666. Since I was like 13, I've been wanting to do this. I was like, y'all, I gotta buy some property.
And
So
no
I
one
can
would
make a road.
believe you, because like that would just eat into you. That would also like feed into your persona. Like it'd
Oh
be
my
like,
God, that'd be
where do you live? I
hilarious.
live at 666 Beast Lane.
That's funny. I have a friend that actually does have a matte black house, a pitch black house with red fences in the Ozarks in Missouri.
Really?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I don't have the photo.
Oh my God.
She showed me the photo, but I don't know. Oh, hey neighbor. Hey SB.
Oh, and also
Neighbors.
Mary Schneider says we're funny. We'd like to think so.
Right, looks aren't everything.
You know, and I will say too, I do like. It was really great. It was really great that Skullgirdle and I connected because it is really hard to find people that are kind of involved in our subculture that are a easy to talk to and B are just kind of like outwardly dorky and they're not really afraid of like the image that they portray socially to people. And you and I are, and I know that sounds like an insult, but you and I are both like It's like people might see us from across the room and at the club and be like, "Ooh," and then whenever they talk to us, like 5 minutes later, they're like, "Fuck these guys, Jesus."
I gotta leave, man. What happened? Shit. Well, yeah, when I go to clubs in Dallas, well, just the Nines and Panopticon. I haven't been to the church in a long time. I used to get stared at there, but I get stared at when I go to Panopticon. And I don't, I don't know why exactly, because people dress there. There's always somebody with vampire contacts in one of those lovely coats.
So
sometimes cutaways, sometimes not. I am a big fan of the Edwardian coat.
Yes.
A big fan of the Victorian style on men, pre.
Oh yeah, I love the cut on them.
Or the really big long, I call them vampire coats, where they're like ankle length, and they look really great on someone who's very slender because they amplify that slender, but in just this otherworldly way.
They kind of give you that ass too with the flare.
Oh my god!
I don't need anything to flare my ass.
Yeah, I already have an ass.
But,
I don't need to flare it. But I love that look, and there's always people dressed up there, always. But I don't know. I'm probably just bumping into people. I don't.
No, I completely agree. And what she's referring to as well. So we were talking about that kind of short-lived goth night in Denton that we had for about a year. But the ones that we've had that are like long-running here in Dallas is we've got a place called The Church, which is open only on Sundays.
Well, that's what people call the fashion place. Should we have another drink as we talk about this?
So yes, let's have another drink while we we pause this, or do we?
No,
need
we
to
can't
just
pause this. Where's the? Well, aren't we going to have more amaretto?
I'm not, but I will pour you some.
Do I want amaretto? I could try the grapefruit and ginger ale. I don't think it'd be as good as the lemon.
In Muskogee.
I don't know that. That's probably a country song. All I know is like The Devil Went Down to Georgia and Jolene.
Hey, Strawberry Switchblade did an amazing cover of Jolene.
Oh yeah, Clint is a huge fan of. Well, everybody did a fantastic cover of. Oh, that was painful, huh? A fantastic cover. So SV, in the mid 2000s, I just didn't overdress. I would go in jeans and a shirt, and people would stare at me then. To the church. Now I don't know. There's something a little bit more friendly to me about Panopticon. I like it. I mean, it's overly loud. Thank you, sugar. Mm-hmm. It's, overly amplified and shit like that, which of course is part of the club atmosphere, and it's great. And the people seem to be pretty friendly. I don't really talk to a lot of people because I have that crowd shyness where I'm like, oh, they want to eat me. But I don't know. It's a more, I think, laid back. But people there aren't laid back. People dress. But for some reason I was there with my friend Marty. And after we giggled and took a bunch of pictures of ourselves before we sad drunk danced, I finally asked her, I was like, will you please walk behind me a little bit? Are people staring at me, or am I having an anxiety attack? Because if I go to a crowded place, I can have an anxiety attack, so I get really weird. Nobody's fucking staring at you. You just feel like they are because your anxiety's a dick. So we were drinking probably grapefruit vodka and soda, which is club soda, with lime. That's another one. Thank you. You're the best. Did you put fizzy stuff in it?
I did. Look out, teeny baby.
Oh, that's good. Oh, well, he walked all over me. Anyway, so she's behind me. She's like, yeah, people are staring at you. And I was like, why do people stare at me?
Hey, Shaker knew what I was singing. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Continuing.
With a name like Hey Shaker.
That's true.
But yeah, so I don't know. I was just like, tell me I'm wrong. Ultimately, I don't care because I'm not going to change the way I look. But it was just weird. And maybe it was just that one night. Because I haven't felt like that every time I've been there.
I will say honestly, like I have always had a very I've had pleasant experiences at both the church and Panopticon especially. The DJs there, I think there's DJ Lord Byron, there's DJ Red Vamp. They are both very, very sweet people. Lord Byron,
yeah,
that guy,
pretty well.
That guy, like anytime, like no matter how busy he is, if I'm like super drunk and just go up and like, please play some new wave.
Oh, someone referred me to him for goth acts coming to town.
Exactly.
So I'll contact him.
Well, and the cool thing is, so they play Panopticon and the church both play a lot of what we call the unse kind of. What were you calling it?
Well, they play a lot of new wave at Panopticon.
Panopticon, it's usually towards the end of the night, and the church does have an 80s room.
Yeah.
The church does have an 80s room, so that's kind of where I hang out.
I haven't been to the church in a long time, so I don't know what they play now. I know they used to have an industrial room and then just like the stuff that we always dance to room.
Yeah, exactly.
But they always start with every day is Halloween.
What did we call what is that called? It's not. I don't call it industrial. What's it called? Like the stuff like
EBM?
Combi Christ and shit like
Oh,
that.
agrotech?
Yeah, I hate that shit. Like
Well, they're fucking Nazis.
that's just my. I
They're
don't like
Nazis
that.
and they use like women being raped sounds in every fucking song.
There was actually a great episode. There's a podcast that I'm sure everybody here has listened to, and if not, check it out. It's called Cemetery Confessions. The Count, that is the host and creator of the show, very, very sweet person, and they put out a lot of great content. But there was the one episode. There was a lot of. There was the one episode where they did go into the misogyny and industrial music, and like actually, that's funny enough. That's where I was introduced to Andy Harriman, and I just heard her just like wipe the floor with just like with all of this like knowledge of a lot of the agrotech and industrial and a lot of misogyny that goes on there.
She's kind of an activist. She's an activist for, especially in the industrial scene, for, I don't know exactly how to say it, against especially sexual predators and, I gotta show it, I'm sorry, we don't have a monitor, we don't have Angela here to make everything happen. Y'all, without Angela, she's like the world's best, she's the fastest monitor I've ever seen. Because sometimes we get the conspiracy trolls. Okay, it says, I can picture, yeah, conspiracy theory trolls, they're not really necessarily conspiracy theorists, but they like to target goth channels, and they just try to bring down your chat, whatever. Yeah, I saw a little bit of Joe Virus. I think I started following him on Twitch, because Twitch is the DJ platform. Although I haven't seen Mixcloud yet, and I've heard Mixcloud is great because DJ Azzy. That's why I said I talk to DJs all the time, so I pretty much feel like a turnip when it comes to talking about music. I'm like, what I like, but luckily Clint is helping me with some 90s goth education. Yeah. My favorite is, I
think that's because
I do like Faith in the Muse a lot. I already had some Faith in the Muse, but Switchblade Symphony.
That's when, and I told you would. I think it was Strawberry Switchblade you're not a fan of, but Switchblade Symphony you're a fan of.
Well, I don't.
And that's
hate
two
Strawberry
completely
Switchblade.
different bands.
Yeah, they sound very different.
But like it's interestingly, if you go on Etsy, you can find a Switchblade Symphony shirt that I actually sold to someone on eBay, like a year ago, and they bought it for me for like $60, and they're trying to sell it for $300. It's been sitting on Etsy for fucking ever, but it's the one like old beat up Switchblade.
Yeah.
I got that in '98 when I saw them on the
People
Three Calamities
pay $500 for those old Cure T-shirts.
They really do, and it's like just
yeah.
If it's gifted to me, that's fine, but I don't think it's ever gonna happen.
Khalid, DJ.
Is it Khalid or Khalid? Could you kind of? I don't want to be mispronouncing your name.
Phonetically
if it's
spelled.
Khalid.
Okay, SB says that Joe Virus, who I've one of his streams
and yes,
hasn't
we
come
did
up
say
on
DJ
Twitch.
Lord Violence.
You know who else is doing practice stuff that's new is Acid Bitter on Twitch, practicing DJ. Because there's people practicing DJ, and I actually asked someone today, I was like, are you guys going to continue doing some of this online stuff? And a lot of the DJs are having such a good time doing the online DJ because, I mean, people can play their playlists all the time, all they want online, but once you put the DJ in there and they stream it live, the show's just different. It's just so much better. I did watch Joe. Okay, I remember Joe Virus. I remember that one.
We had a great time last Saturday watching the Dark Energy. We did. What is it? Dark Energy. MPLS, is that what it is?
MPLS, yeah.
And they're actually doing a stream tonight, but my God, if you guys, we'd never fucked with Twitter before, so that was like two grandparents trying to figure out how the TV remote works.
Was embarrassing.
We spent like...
It was embarrassing and there was nobody to see. It was so bad. It took us an hour to connect.
It took us an hour to connect, and on top of that, we get in there an hour early, and I end up messaging Andy Harriman like, hey, is the party starting late? It's like the parents that show up an hour early to ask the band what town they're from or something.
We wanted our dinner at 4 p.m., man. We wanted that dinner at 4 p.m. for our early bird special, y'all. We sucked. But the next day I watched Black Sunday, and some song we played in that one was really good. Who was it? What is the side project of the Wingtips? The Wingtips have done a Hannah sings and Vincent does the
Visceral Anatomy.
Visceral Anatomy. I thought it was really good. It's very trance-like.
Did you see they reshared my story, but they kind of stuck Visceral Anatomy over where I put Wingtips.
They should. I mean,
they were so nice. But yeah, no, that was great shit. That was great shit.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. So when you get on some of these streams, sometimes they have bands play, and I noticed I've seen Blood Bells actually play at live DJ sets. Which it's not something
that's kind of exclusively what we've ended up doing, if you've noticed.
But it's cool.
It's fun. It's fun.
You go to
it's nice being the only band.
As long as they can keep it going. But I like that. What's the Wednesday one? Ceremony?
Yes.
We have
that's where we
have so many fucking goth nights here. You can go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Sunday to Goth nights
Yes.
here.
And you and I said before you end up moving, I'm going to take a week off
Right.
to do that until
Yeah.
like where we're going to have a crazy.
So we'll go to all of those because when you work at 7 o'clock in the morning with a 45-minute drive, you don't go out to the church on Sunday. Monday's bad enough without going with a lack of sleep hangover. I have sleep hangovers where I sleep too much. Last night I only slept like 7.5 hours. I have been enjoying getting up at like 10 and 11 o'clock on days I'm not working. It's been glorious.
You know what kind of hangovers I've been having?
Booze?
I'm having a boy hangover. It's really not that bad.
What does that mean? Is that Strawberry Switchblade?
No, it could totally be a Strawberry Switchblade song though. I like how anytime I sing something really poppy, you're like, is that Strawberry Switchblade?
Well, Clint wants to be in the 80s, and I constantly am trying to look like I'm not from 1987. I fail. But look at that hair. He's nailed it. And he's wearing a headband, y'all.
So all of my hair
Can we
was
still
the
be
same.
friends if you're wearing a headband? I don't know.
Of course.
I don't know.
Honestly, I don't give a fuck. I do what I want to do.
I know.
And honestly, you keep it 90 degrees in here, so it's really helping. So actually,
Are you hot?
SV,
I turned it up because it was too cold earlier.
SV is bringing up a good point here. So Joe Virus does have a goth night on Saturdays.
Oh, he does.
And I will
Where?
say, I won't say who. I had a couple of friends that went to the very, very first one.
Is that the
and
one in
they
Fort
said
Worth?
they said that even though the DJs were good, the space itself was awkward. And I don't know if they've changed it, but they said the space was weird. It was like,
Is this the one
was
that
it like
closed?
carpeted or something?
Did it close down? It's
I don't
not
know.
the place that
I
you
mean,
played. Is it that? But is it that goth night?
It's not the place we played, but I don't think it's that goth night. It's a different
that
one.
was a night. That was small, and everybody was really fucking nice. But I found like the current goth situation in our area, people are generally pretty nice, and they may look standoffish, but as soon as you talk to them, they're like, "Oh, hey, we're best friends now."
God, that's true.
It's-
Sometimes they're a little bit too friendly if everybody's been drinking too much, and you end up doing the thing where like you meet a new person and you try to be nice, and then you kind of have to like gently tell them to fuck off, like about an hour later, because they will just kind of hang out with you, and you're like, "Look, dude, I'm normally a little bit asocial. I'm here with like a very small group.
I'm here with my small group of one person, and I just so happen to know because we never go to goth night together. We just see each other there. I always drag like Angela or my friend Maddie. I drag my non-goth friends to goth stuff because it was so funny at Vegate going with Angela and Matthew up to Toyption Hall. We go to the gothic rock pretty much venue, that kind of gothic rock post-punk venue, and watch some of the best shows I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. But those two go with me, and people are just looking because I'm like all dressed up, and Matthew's wearing like a blue polo shirt, and Angela probably has black lipstick. She likes to flaunt that she has lips, and I don't. I have to draw half of this shit on.
Didn't you say that you actually were getting stares in Germany, but it's like normal to stare at people in Germany? Like it's considered not impolite,
right?
Because they're actually just trying to like enjoy your look as opposed to like ogle you or anything.
But there was
like
one
that,
person I thought, man, I should have gone home with that guy because damn.
There's a lot of pretty German boys and girls.
I think that the stare was a little too. He was about 50 something. Oh boy. Anyway, so people stare at you in Germany. You just I think France is like that too, where they just stare at you. They stare at stuff, and people are the most interesting stuff. But there were people at the Vegate that actually were laughing at people who were dressed over the top. And so for me, feeling paranoid and anxious because that's how I am. It was all strange stuff, and I had great friends. I've made like pretty much lifetime friends going there, so it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But they were laughing at people, and I got Azzy watched them after I talked to them about it, and said that they were laughing at everybody who was extra, and I was double extra. This is nothing. Vegate, I was trying when things got so weird, like in March. He's kind of like I knew. But I already had one of my outfits, the over the top outfit, and I was gonna make a belt of puppets, of wool felt puppets. Yeah, I still have the wool felt. I never did it because ultimately I was unmotivated because I knew I wasn't going. And then when my flight was canceled, I really knew I wasn't going.
Oh God!
And then when there were no flights to Germany that could be had, I was like, oh, I guess I'm really not going. And I don't know if they ever fully canceled it, but my flight was canceled. And there's some bullshit going on with the tickets. Like you have to be able to prove your flight was canceled to get a refund or to use it for the next year. I'm pretty sure they'll I don't know.
As a
Things
side note,
have changed in Saxony since then.
as a side note, SV does say that that Joe Virus says that it's still on Saturdays. SV, could you tell us what the name of that goth night is?
Yeah, which one is that?
Also, so going back to Vegas.
Oh wait, it's in Haltom City. I do not know that goth.
I do not know that goth.
Goth night. I'm sorry.
Do you know that goth? Round 1.
Chances are with me, no.
Chances are. So, back to Vegate. I forget, did you post a video blog while you were there? Like, did you actually walk around and post shit? Because I don't know if I've seen that.
Well, I posted 4 vlogs of afterwards. I did not post anything at the festival. And you know, the thing is that when you see posts of the festival, it's almost always the Victorian picnic or how people look. Very few people post about the music. Yeah. I've seen somebody, though, who wasn't goth posting about the music, going to music festivals.
Oh, it is called Shadow Play. You're absolutely right. Yep.
Shadow Play, I don't know what that is.
Which is great. I mean, it's a Joy Division song. I love how, like, that's but I'm like, how did nobody think to name a goth night that here before now? So I'm like, good for you for thinking of that name. That is actually my favorite Joy Division song, too. What an amazing fucking song. That lead riff in that song is just, Anyways.
Yeah, I'm an atmosphere person, and I know it got radio plays, so I'm not a real fan.
When you say you're an atmosphere person, you don't mean in general, you mean the song Atmosphere.
Yeah.
People like you find it easy.
I love that song so much. I love the video.
Yeah.
With those weird hoods and shit like that.
Oh, I love that.
Unlike the dude who decided if I have to wear a mask, I'm wearing the KKK mask. Ha 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 ha. That was not funny! A-holes.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Shadow Play. Okay, so Shadow Play. Okay, so we have Wednesday through Sunday. The only night you can't find a goth night in the DFW area is Monday and Tuesday. Unfortunately...
Oh, it's just funny because the Denton one used to be on Tuesday.
The Denton one was on Tuesday.
So you could have had an entire, like, gothic tour of, like, the DFW
So we have...
area.
But that's an hour at the least away from us. And then we have to struggle for parking. And parking can be shit. Panopticon is usually okay. If you can find it, because you wind up making like 7 blocks because you missed your turn.
God, I'm telling you, that is so true.
Every time.
So the goth night we're talking about on Fridays here in Dallas called Panopticon is like, oh God, you're gonna leave me with the YouTube all by myself.
Oh yeah, like you weren't talking all night.
Okay, this is After Hours with Clint. You're gonna have to pay $3.99 going forward. Okay, so. And actually, Hey Shaker saying Shadow Play was the name of the goth night here starting in 98 or 99. Nice. Very cool. That's good to know.
It's kind of like anything with Nocturne or... I guess you wouldn't outright name it Lucifer.
That's true. So...
the Night Star.
What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Because now I'm getting kind of a little bit tipsy.
I almost knocked off my shoe because I am wearing fuzzy slippers. Okay, I'm in the video. You know, I can barely read that.
I have contacts on and it's hard for me to read, so.
Are you farsighted or nearsighted?
I am nearsighted. Okay,
You can't see anything far away? I can't see anything close up.
What were we saying before you said you take over?
Goth nights?
Okay, so yeah, Panopticon that she's talking about. The funny fucking thing about it is I've been like at least 20 times, which is not a lot compared to a lot of people.
Right.
And every single time, they hold this goth night in like a warehouse, and the only way you can see it is there is like this. I thought you were saying, did you have a seed in there? Oh, okay. I thought you were just really hating Panopticon. I thought you didn't like warehouses. So they hold it in this warehouse, and they've got this little like red or blue light. I forget what color it is. So if you don't see it, it's like you blink, you miss it, and GPS can't really find it, and there's like those 2 paid parking lots. Right. But it's pretty cool because of that. And I remember the first time that we went...
the parking's like $3.
So they have like theme nights, and the first time we ever went, we didn't know it was a theme night. So it was like all these people in like... furry outfits.
We went during Witch House and everybody was wearing a little felted witch hat, which I kept seeing on Etsy, and I was like, is this what goth is now? Fuck this shit. So
she hates Witch House. You do not like. I will say though. I don't
like the whole thing that goth equals witch. That people are like, look, I'm witchy, and they put the word witch on their chest because of all the witches I've known that have had issues.
You mean
Wiccans? A lot of Wiccans call themselves witches. A lot of non-Wiccans call themselves witches.
You need to be polite. It's actually witch use that they're having. in stream.
Gonna kill you. Oh God. No, right
Brings
after this, I'm
warehouse
holding him down and
away
pulling out
buzz.
all the nose hairs, y'all. All those nose. In fact, I'm gonna.
It's
going to
be tough for you to fucking get around this damn thing.
Well, I'll just have to
which
rip
is
that
never
out.
coming
I'll
out.
have to rip it out first.
It's gonna be very hard. It's gonna be very hard with my boot on your face.
You should have slipped a Xanax in your drink. You would never know what happened. I'd pull out all that nose hair and your nose would be bleeding.
Why isn't there a Xanax brand called Xanadu?
Copyright.
Maybe Xanax and the Xanadu.
But the movie Xanadu would be the copyright. But isn't Xanadu in like Tibet or some shit like that?
I don't know. By the way, so there is I Surf Dark Waves. I don't know if you're still here, but hello. Let's see who is all watching right now, if you can.
Jesus fuck. I can't tell you exactly who's watching, I don't think. But there's 9 people. We have it's not too bad, y'all. Our latency is not too bad. I don't think it tells us who it is. I mean, you know, it wouldn't be proper streaming if you knew exactly what was happening.
That's true. Anyway.
Just kind of shout into the void and hope for the best. Okay.
Oh, more like Xana don't. Love that, SB.
Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, Xanadu.
Keep the puns coming.
Xanadu.
Because I am absolutely all about the dad jokes and the puns. She fucking hates that shit. And that's why we would make a good
idealized place. That's why the roller rink movie from the 70s was...
I Surf Dark Waves. I actually really like your name, by the way. That's a really hilarious and clever name. I don't know what that means.
God, I'm old.
I Surf Dark Waves. Where are you located?
In the U.S.
Age, sex, location.
That's asking for a lot of information on the interweb. Okay, Xanadu is a fake place. It's like an idea. So you could get away with it. But the movie would probably fuck you over because movie studios will fuck over anyone they can.
I love so much about that. I love so much about
the roller skating
disco
movie?
in general and
you should
roller
watch
skating.
that with Angela. It's one of her favorite movies.
I love Italo disco. I love actual disco. Lauren and I, my wife, one of our all-time favorite groups is ABBA. Like we fucking love ABBA. ABBA kicks ass.
I used to love Fernando.
Fuck you if you don't like ABBA.
Wow. Wow. Damn. Okay, well, fuck all y'alls if you don't like some band that I like as well. David Bowie.
Who doesn't like David Bowie? And why
I don't know. I'm sure there's people who call him trite.
Can you explain to me why the plastic is still on the keyboard? On
no! This? I don't know.
Do you actually have a keyboard protector on there, you nerd?
It's what came with it.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I just don't want to remove it. Okay, fine. Look how bright it is now. Oh, great. Well, this whole end of the table, you can't see. It's covered in watercolor.
It's going to have COVID on it. Wait, did you just lose you just lost the thing. You just lost the little chat thing.
Yeah, but I only lost the chat thing. As long as we're still connected. It says...
Here we go.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so... I think...
I Surf Dark Waves said, still here. More like Xana don't. Okay,
You're like 5 minutes behind.
I was going to say we're caught up. Because
we are
I remember that. Wow. Damn, y'all. Tough crowd.
Got David Bowie tattoos. 7 of them.
Wow.
You have 7 Bowie tattoos. Wow, that's amazing.
What's your favorite Bowie album?
Yeah, ooh. This is a great question. I will go ahead and say, what is your favorite Bowie album?
Well, I'll be it's so embarrassing. I like Hunky Dory a lot.
Hunky Dory's wonderful.
It's a really good album.
Hunky Dory's Hunky Dory. Mine is actually, which is probably typical.
Don't say Glass Spiders.
No, mine is Low. Okay. I love that album so much. It was like...
Well, I had a roommate that had an original pressing of Drag, rare copy of David Bowie, but he collected rare records.
Help me out. Any Bowie fans? What's the album that's supposed to be like his worst album, where he's like floating in the living room on the front, and it came out in like I think in like the early 80s. No, it wasn't Thin White Duke.
Was it after
He's like
that?
floating in the living room, and it's kind of like wacky letters. Ooh, David Live. That is a really good album. Wow, that.
I have a thing, SV, where if I like a band a lot, I don't buy live albums until I've got several that are studio albums, because I will always prefer the live album. Usually prefer the live, unless the sound's really bad.
Yes, Mavis. The plastic keeps it new, and now we have got this. This would be a very Kraftwerkian looking thing. Rest in peace.
Right. Yeah, Kraftwerk is one of those bands that I admire but don't love as much as I admire.
Well, they
Don't like the music
they
as much.
started they so.
But again, the influence cannot be
Yeah, I was gonna
overestimated.
say they were
Same with
actually
David Bowie.
they were the first band I believe to be sampled in hip hop.
Never Let Me Down.
Never Let Me Down. Okay, so SV, what are your opinions on Never Let Me Down? Because that seems to be the one when I worked at like record stores. That would be the one that we always had on clearance. We would have like tons of copies of it. And I actually haven't had a chance to sit down and listen to it, probably because subconsciously I was like, I don't want to hear if this album is bad.
Oh, that's interesting.
So SV says that's the one everybody hates, but I love it. It's so terribly 80s. But I love terrible 80s. Is it like really synth heavy? Like what makes it like terribly 80s?
What the fuck? It's not showing me my albums. It's just
there it is. It's right there. It's right fucking there.
Oh, Let's Dance? Oh.
No. Never Let Me Down.
Oh, is that the one you hated?
Yes.
Oh, that's hilarious.
No, I don't hate it. I've never heard it because I like I like didn't want to listen to it.
Sometimes stuff that's critically acclaimed or stuff that is panned is not what the fans think.
That's true.
And as long as David Bowie's being as true to himself as he could. Okay, yeah, this is. Oh, The Man Who Sold the World. That's the other one I like so much. I know, I'm so trite.
You liked the kind of Velvet
Very
Goldmine
old.
era where he's in the frock and he sees sees Kurt Wilde and he's like,
oh yes,
I want to do what you do.
David Bowie in a dress. It doesn't get better than that. I mean, I don't mean to objectify, but
so 80s pop. It's just really cheesy and kind of weird, but
right.
Okay, so I think because of this conversation, I'm going to listen to Never Let Me Down probably this weekend and see what we got from there.
Well, one of my favorite David Bowie songs is China Girl, and I can't even defend why I like that song.
That's an Iggy
Blue
Pop.
Jean is not bad, but China Girl is good.
Did you know that's an
80s.
Iggy Pop song that Bowie said, "Let me cover this to get you money"? Because Iggy Pop, if you read about their relationship,
he and David Bowie worked together a lot.
Well, they worked together a lot. There was some suggestion that they were romantically involved, but really, I think Bowie just felt for Iggy Pop because in the 80s destroyed Iggy Pop and basically I know that Bowie covered China Girl to give Iggy some income because he gave him all of the royalties from it, which is crazy because I think it went like number one or something. So that's really cool.
Well, I know they worked together a lot, and in that era, I did like Let's Dance because it's fun, you can dance to it, but it's put on your red shoes and dance, and I always would see the red shoes killing somebody dancing in them, which I think is what he meant.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I definitely prefer very early Bowie.
I agree with SV too. I think that David Bowie did way better than Iggy. Listen to the Iggy Pop China Girl, and it's just like I'm a mess.
Oh.
Without my China Girl, it's like really
what Iggy Pop did well was what Iggy Pop did well.
Oh my God, Rob! I have By the way,
he improv a lot of his lyrics.
Yes, he did. And to tell everybody how serious I am about Iggy Pop,
this
was many years old. I have a Raw Power tattoo because that is one of the greatest rock and roll albums of all time. And I impulsively got it one day because we had a friend in Oklahoma that was like, "I'll tattoo you for however long you want," and we're like, "Okay." So I got a few things, but I fucking love that album. I think it cannot be overstated how much I love that album. But yes, a lot of people think when they see this tattoo, I've actually had more than a handful of people approach me and ask me if there's some Italian hardcore band. I think Italian hardcore band called Raw Power that uses the exact same logo. So I've had these heavily tattooed skinhead looking dudes. Yeah, I've had these skinhead looking dudes come up to me and they're just like, "Hey man, is that the Italian Raw Power?" And I'm like, "No, it's from the actual Iggy and the Stooges Raw Power."
That must be scary because skinheads are. I mean, we had anti-racist skinheads too, but skinheads in general now are not the anti-racist very often.
We actually, honestly, in Dallas, if anybody has lived in Dallas,
right, they lived together. In the Berlin, yeah. So if they were fucking, they were fucking. That's fine. Who cares? It's as long as they.
Oh God, that's a video I would pay for.
Yeah, me too. With the mental creative.
Oh yeah.
Just
with the literal juices floating.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, not that we've ever watched Velvet what?
Goldmine.
Velvet Goldmine.
We watched Velvet Goldmine. That was
right before
the plague.
All I could think was Velvet Underground. Sorry, y'all. I had band in the way. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, Clint got me to watch Trainspotting too, which was also good. I guess I like Ewan McGregor because my favorite character in Velvet Underground was Ewan McGregor.
Didn't you like download
insane.
Trainspotting, but you accidentally downloaded Trainspotting 2 instead of the first one?
No, I rented the right one. You thought I did it, had the wrong picture.
I haven't seen Trainspotting 2.
Right, neither have I.
Which we should both watch together.
Yeah, we should watch
But
it.
yes, I got you to watch Trainspotting. That movie
I wouldn't
is
watch it because
so
it was about
good.
heroin.
I love that movie so much.
I used to have this weird fear that I would be a junkie, but not like a junkie, like a drag your whole family down the drain, fuck over every person you've ever known, just like in the movies kind of junkie. Y'all, morphine does nothing to me. I am immune or whatever to opium, to real opiates. It has to be synthetic to work for me. Like, morphine does not touch pain. I have no feeling at all. It might wake me up. Demerol doesn't touch pain. I just can't take real opiates. They have to be fake ones. So that was an unfounded thing. And why did I grow up thinking that all junkies fuck up the whole world around them? Some do, some don't.
No, some are very... Nick Cave was able to
some
make a career out of it.
Some are very functional. Yeah.
Both movies are so excellent. Underworld is one of my top... Okay, so SV, here's a little funny thing. I love... the what do they call it? The Born Slippy Nux mix, like the NUXX, I think is what it's called. It's like the one from when the baby's crawling on the roof. And I sent that to you, like, check this out, and you like 2 minutes into it, and I got a text back. You're like, this song sucks. It was so funny. I laughed so hard.
Who's that song by?
It was by Underworld. You were like, this song sucks.
Oh, that's a band. I thought you meant the movies.
No, when I sent you I was like, it was that night I sent you the link to that song because we had just finished it and I was leaving and I was like, this will be so cute if I send you the link to the song. And you were like, this band sucks.
You did not catch me. In the right mood, I will like most things. I always hate free jazz. Late Miles Davis, free jazz.
Oh, like fusion and like acid fusion and shit. Yeah. Like Bitches Brew and stuff like that.
But Dixieland is cool. And old standard. You know.
Oof.
A goth.
A goth would like the Born Slippy Nux mix or the Underworld. Oh my god.
Well, I didn't, so I failed. I'm cool.
Should we sign off and get some food?
Yeah, we should, because I don't know what I want, and I'm already feeling this because we both had rumbly stomachs.
I know what I want, and I want it now. I want you, because I'm really hungry. Let's do this.
Before he roasts one of my legs, it'll be a succulent, fatty meal.
It will be. It's
okay,
very
well,
much
thank you to everyone who showed up for our impromptu live stream.
Yes,
we have to watch.
absolutely.
If you want to see some DJ action, Obscura Undead, obscuraundead.com, they have a landing page.
Dark Energy.
And Dark Energy is playing tonight too, but I'm biased towards Obscura Undead because I'm part of Obscura Undead.
Okay.
So I have to, what do you call it, advertise them first. But they have 6 DJs, and I can't remember who the one who was on there was like, oh, hell yeah. Who the fuck was it? Was somebody good?
You posted about it.
Whatever. They're really. I did. I share all that crap on my Facebook. But I went through my personal Facebook, not my page, my personal Facebook, and I unfriended almost half the people on there. Because a lot of people had found me there, and it got to where I couldn't see the people that I know and love in person or good, solid friendships I've made online. I was never seeing their shit. I was just seeing people. I was like, who is that again? And then, oh my God, y'all, when you change your names on Facebook, I don't know who the fuck some of these people are. So I unfriended because I was like, this is my personal Facebook page. There's no reason for it. I have a Skullgirdle page. I'm trying to update it.
Update it. Boom. Nailed
I'm sorry,
it.
I had to burp. I was trying not to be gross.
Hi, Glass-Winged Angel. We're actually about to sign off. We've been on for about an hour, and we are going to, I think, have some burgers and watch some YouTube stuff.
Yeah,
yes,
we're hoping for
thank you.
hamburgers because
we are definitely not under any kind of dietary restrictions, so.
I fucking love hamburgers.
No offense to anyone that is.
I'm an omnivore. I've not tried being vegan, but I've tested vegan diets. The last time it hurt so bad, it was just because I have a inflammatory bowel disease, y'all. So.
Oh my God.
What? Did you
signing off?
Signing off. I don't know what the thing was. That's why I eat hamburgers. Okay, y'all have a great night too. We'll talk to you. Oh my God, you're fucking killing me. So hey, thanks for watching. Let me find the exit.